Nobody likes the feeling of being manipulated, the sickening twist in your stomach when you realize someone is trying to control you, not for your benefit, but for their own selfish gain. Today, we're diving into the truth about dealing with manipulative individuals, especially narcissists, who are masters at control and deception. In the world of Stoicism, we're taught to detach from our emotions and see situations for what they really are, a test of our endurance and wisdom. This isn't just about recognizing the dark tactics narcissists use, but also empowering you with the knowledge to reclaim your peace and autonomy. We're going to explore strategies that not only help you identify these manipulative tactics, but also give you the tools to turn the tables on those who think they can tamper with your mind. Here's the paradox. The less attention you give to those who crave it the most, especially narcissists, the more power you actually gain over the situation. Stoicism teaches us the virtue of indifference when facing things beyond our control, like the behaviors of others. By choosing to ignore a narcissist, you're not being passive. You're actively deciding where to allocate your energy, focusing on what's within your control, your actions, your responses, and where you direct your attention. Let's break down what ignoring a narcissist truly means. It's not about giving them the silent treatment or being overtly dismissive. It's about withholding the kind of attention they thrive on. Narcissists feed off emotional reactions, your anger, frustration, sadness. When you deny them these reactions, it's like cutting off their lifeline. You keep your emotional responses measured, your interactions brief, functional, and devoid of personal engagement. Think of it as practicing the Stoic exercise of objectivity. You interact with them as if you were a scientist observing an experiment, detached from the outcome. This detachment shifts the dynamic. It forces the narcissist to confront their own neediness without your reactions to fuel their ego. They begin to lose their footing, making their attempts to control you less effective. Ignoring a narcissist aligns with another Stoic principle, the reserve clause. This mental tool helps us approach every action with the understanding that we will carry it out, fate permitting. In this context, it means engaging with a narcissist only when absolutely necessary, knowing that any attempt to change or influence them is out of your control. But here's the twist. When you start ignoring a narcissist's emotional manipulation, you may notice a temporary increase in their efforts. They might escalate their behavior, trying new tactics to provoke a reaction. This is where your Stoic resilience is tested. You might feel tempted to react, to defend yourself, or to set them straight. It's natural, but remember, every time you engage, you feed the cycle. The key here is consistency. Your consistent indifference can be disorienting and frustrating for them, and as Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. When you truly understand this, you will find strength. By applying this wisdom, you not only protect your emotional well-being, but also become a less appealing target for their manipulations. Practically speaking, this means setting and enforcing strict boundaries about what behaviors you will and won't tolerate. For example, if a conversation turns manipulative or derogatory, disengage. This isn't about running away from the problem. It's about choosing not to entangle your peace of mind with someone else's chaos. Over time, this approach lessens the impact a narcissist can have on you, reinforcing your autonomy and respect for your mental space. Boundaries are often the unsung heroes in our lives, especially when dealing with personalities that thrive on control. In Stoicism, the emphasis is on internal boundaries, setting limits with our responses and emotions. But when interacting with a narcissist, external boundaries are just as critical. It's about knowing where you end and they begin, defining what's acceptable in your interactions, and more importantly, what isn't. When you establish clear boundaries, you're teaching others how to treat you. This isn't just about saying no or keeping someone at arm's length. It's about defining your personal space, both emotionally and physically, and deciding what you will allow into that space. For narcissists, who often see others as extensions of themselves rather than separate individuals, this can be incredibly disorienting. And that's exactly why it works. Consider the Stoic idea of focusing solely on what we can control. You can't control a narcissist's actions, but you can control how you respond and what you accept. Setting boundaries is a proactive approach to managing your interactions. For instance, if a narcissist raises their voice or uses manipulative tactics, a boundary might mean calmly stating that you'll continue the conversation only when respect is shown, or even not at all if respect isn't possible. Setting boundaries, with a narcissist or anyone really, is a profound act of self-care. It's not about control or power over another. It's about preserving your dignity and protecting your mental well-being. As Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, once said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." In the context of narcissists, this means we fear the conflict that setting boundaries may bring more than the actual outcome. But once those boundaries are in place, they act as a fortress guarding your peace of mind. Implementing these boundaries consistently is where the challenge often lies. Narcissists are known for testing limits, pushing to see if they can get you to bend. This is your opportunity to practice stoic perseverance. Every time you reinforce your boundaries, you strengthen your resolve and self-respect. This doesn't mean being rigid or inflexible. It means being firm and clear in your convictions. An essential part of setting boundaries is knowing when to enforce them. It's one thing to tell someone your boundaries. It's another to act when they breach them. If a narcissist tries to guilt you into doing something you're uncomfortable with, enforcing your boundary might involve reminding them of your stance, disengaging from the situation, or seeking external support if necessary. This enforcement tells the narcissist that your boundaries aren't just words, they are non-negotiable lines that must be respected. In the end, setting boundaries is a powerful way to protect yourself from manipulation, maintain your dignity, and reclaim control over your interactions. It's not about dominating or controlling anyone else, but about preserving your mental space, your peace, and your autonomy. Taking control of your personal space and interactions is not just a luxury, it's a powerful act of self-empowerment. As Marcus Aurelius wisely pointed out, when we feel distressed by something external, the pain isn't truly about the thing itself, but our perception of it. And the beauty of this is that we have the ability to change that perception at any given moment. By setting and maintaining boundaries, we reclaim that power and craft an environment that aligns with our values, ensuring peace of mind in all our interactions. In the intricate dance of relationships, especially with individuals who seek constant validation, things can get tricky. While everyone enjoys being acknowledged and appreciated, the dynamic becomes especially complex when dealing with narcissists. Narcissists don't just like validation, they depend on it to fuel their fragile sense of self-worth. Here's a powerful Stoic insight. Choosing not to offer excessive validation doesn't make you cruel. It's a form of emotional economy. You're conserving your energy, preserving your mental resources, and protecting your peace. Think of it this way. If a narcissist's ego is a fire, every compliment you offer is like adding fuel to that blaze. What happens if you stop adding fuel? Without your contributions, the fire will naturally begin to die down. This isn't about punishing them, but about not allowing their emotional needs to dictate your actions, especially when those actions are rooted in manipulation. Stoicism teaches us the importance of detachment and emotional independence. Withholding validation isn't about being cold or unkind. It's about maintaining your integrity and staying authentic. When a narcissist boasts or seeks praise for their accomplishments, you don't need to feed into their need for excessive admiration. A simple acknowledgement of their effort, "I see you worked hard on that," is honest, straightforward, and avoids feeding their ego. Navigating these interactions with a narcissist requires consistency and courage. At first, they might be confused or even increase their attempts to elicit praise, but here's where the Stoic practice of remaining unmoved by external pressures comes in. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. This internal strength allows you to remain firm in your boundaries, regardless of how much the narcissist pushes you to return to old patterns of constant reassurance. Withholding validation is about recalibrating your relationships. It shifts the dynamic from one of dependence and manipulation to one of mutual respect. When your approval is not automatically expected or undeserved, you pave the way for more genuine connections. Interactions become based on real understanding, rather than on the neediness of one person and the fulfillment of that need by the other. If this approach feels new to you, start small. Observe when you're offering validation and why. Are there moments when you feel compelled to compliment someone simply because it's expected, even if it's not sincere? Begin to reduce these instances and focus on being genuine in your interactions. The goal isn't to deprive anyone of kindness, but to stop feeding into unhealthy and imbalanced dynamics. This practice also teaches a valuable lesson. True self-worth isn't dependent on constant validation. When you withhold validation, you show both yourself and the narcissist that self-esteem comes from within, not from the approval of others. You'll also reinforce your own emotional autonomy and develop a deeper understanding of the importance of self-respect. Confidence doesn't mean walking into a room with your head high for the sake of external admiration. It's about having a deep inner knowledge of your own worth and living from that place. This type of confidence, rooted in virtue, is your best defense against narcissistic manipulation. It protects you from their attempts to undermine your sense of self. When you stand firm in your self-worth, you transform the way you interact with narcissists. Their usual tactics lose power because they thrive on your uncertainty. When you remain unwavering in your confidence, their manipulation becomes less effective. This doesn't mean you won't face moments of doubt. Those are part of being human. But by regularly reflecting on your actions and staying grounded in your values, you can navigate those moments without losing sight of who you truly are. Start building your confidence today by engaging in activities that reinforce your values and personal growth. Set goals that challenge you and reflect on your progress, celebrating the small victories, not for the accolades they bring, but for the person they help you become. This journey to emotional independence and self-respect will not only protect you from narcissistic manipulation, but will also create space for more meaningful, balanced relationships. The more grounded you are in your own values, the more you'll attract genuine connections based on respect and authenticity. Building a strong and unwavering sense of self is one of the most empowering realizations you can achieve. It makes you resilient, unshaken by the opinions or manipulations of others, especially those who thrive on controlling and exploiting you, like a narcissist. True happiness and success are born not from external validation, but from within. It's not about being alone or self-sufficient in a lonely sense, but about creating a life so rich and fulfilling that no individual, no matter how influential, can define your sense of worth or dictate your peace of mind. This is the essence of thriving independently. It's about cultivating a life that stands strong, where relationships are welcomed as beautiful additions, not the cornerstone of your identity. The core idea here is that your emotional and psychological well-being is under your control, and external circumstances, especially toxic relationships, should never dictate your inner peace. Stoicism teaches us to be self-reliant, to build emotional strength from within, and to embrace life's challenges as opportunities for growth. When you stop relying on a narcissist for validation or approval, you begin to dismantle the unhealthy power dynamics that may have defined your past interactions. You step into your power by pursuing your own passions, making independent decisions, and celebrating your own successes. This shift is not about isolation, but about reinforcing your own autonomy. When you invest in your growth through education, personal development, or wellness, you send a clear message. I am capable, content, and complete on my own. The more you build your own life and sense of fulfillment, the less influence a narcissist has over you. Imagine building a life as strong as a fortress. Every achievement, every moment of self-discovery is a brick in that structure, fortifying your resilience. As you strengthen this foundation, it becomes harder for anyone, even a narcissist, to shake the walls you've built. In fact, The Stoic principles of self-reliance and virtue will guide you in mastering your emotional responses, teaching you that your peace comes from within, not from the manipulative forces around you. You start to see challenges not as obstacles, but as tests of character that help you grow stronger. When you embrace this mindset, you no longer see yourself as a victim of a narcissist's whims, but as a capable and strong individual, able to navigate the storms of life with poise. Stoicism helps you stay calm in the face of chaos, enabling you to face even the most manipulative individuals without losing your center. In practice, this means understanding your triggers and preparing to respond with composure, not letting the narcissist's tactics disrupt your peace. Techniques such as deep breathing, mindfulness, and staying grounded will keep you physically and mentally relaxed, reinforcing your ability to remain unaffected by their provocations. By practicing equanimity, you learn to bend like a strong tree in the wind without breaking. You allow the turbulence around you to pass, while remaining grounded in your sense of self. The more you practice staying calm, the stronger your emotional resilience becomes, and the less impact any external chaos has on you. In this journey of self-discovery and growth, every step forward is a victory. Every challenge you face becomes an opportunity to build your confidence, not just in overcoming external forces, but in trusting your ability to maintain your calm and integrity. In the end, the key to thriving, especially when dealing with a narcissist, is not about waiting for the storm to pass, but learning to stay calm, rooted, and resilient no matter the storm. This is how you truly thrive,